Now today's video is for the intermediate to advanced practitioner who is already very stable on two arms and wants to start the journey towards a one-arm handstand. Now the last one-arm handstand follow-along I done was more of a traditional way of training the one arm. I did use canes, but you could have done that on the floor. Today's a little bit more fun and it throws you a little bit straight into the deep end of holding a one-arm handstand with the support of the block or the step. So make sure you're warmed up. Do some standard kick up to straight position. Now this one we are going to do on the floor. So get your straight handstand nice and strong. Get your straddle handstand nice and strong and be able to go between the two. We're going to do the one arm handstand in the straddle position. We want to have it be able to flag around a little bit and be comfortable in that. So make sure you can do that first. Now once you've done that, I'm going to grab my block and I'm just going to kick up into two hands, but one hand is going to be on the block. I'm not worried about what I'm doing in terms of am I going towards a one arm or anything. I'm just going to make sure I can stay up in a two arm handstand. I'm leaving my legs messy as well, so whatever I need to do to show balance, show control. And then I'm going to come back down. Now I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. So show control, come back down. Now that can be done on different items, so you could use a yoga block. You could use something bigger like the IKEA step. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to try and find my one arm position when I have the opposite hand on the block. So I'm going to kick up to that exact same position as we done before, but then I'm going to start tidying things up. So kick up to that side, I'm going to open to straddle. I'm going to look at my hand that I want to work towards. And then I'm going to push up on top of that hand and go towards a one arm. So now the left hand is assisting me only. I have more weight in the right hand than the left. Then I'm going to come back down, repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Oh dear, get up. Okay, straddle position, look across, shift some weight. Find that one arm position. That right hand's lighter now, just assisting me. Come back, show control, come back down. Again, we could do that on the step, the yoga block or the handstand block. Okay, next challenge is to do exactly the same thing, but this time I'm going to put so much weight into this arm that I can move the block out of the way. So looking at that hand, shifting the weight across, my left hand has now become light, slide it out of the way, come back to two arms. Show control, come back down. Same thing on the opposite side. Look at the hand, shift the weight, take the weight out of that right hand, move it out of the way, come back down. Now that's the goal. In reality, what happens when you first try that is you don't take all the weight out of this hand. You might throw it out of the way, you might fumble it because you've still got weight in there. Or if you deload it too quickly, you'll start to fall this way as you throw the block away. So it'll look more like this. So I'm creating momentum as I do that. I'm creating a ripple through the body when I throw this hand and shoulder up in the air. So we want to try and slow it down and make sure that as we release and move, there's no energy, there's no connection with this hand and shoulder to the rest of the body. Now that will take a long time to get. If you can do it well, you probably already have a one arm handstand. So ideally what we're looking for, show control, take weight out of that right hand. I'm still got control, still got control, still got control, back down. Now, like I say, that will take time. Now, if you're using a bigger block or step or parallel bar or something like a little parallel, this block might not move very well. So your other option is to create a space. So you have to have a bigger gap here. So find that balance point. This hand has now become light and I can bring it down to there. Now that was not ideal because you get a little bit bunched up and it's hard to make space. And if you make a big space, you don't have a real big distance to shift. So I prefer, if you are going to move the block or do the one where you step down, that you use the smaller yoga block or handstand block or something that you can move easier. Now instead of moving, we could keep the position and just hold it for time. Now this is a little bit better actually on the bigger, higher boxes. So let's try it first on the IKEA step. So now I'm going to purposely go a little bit wider and I'm going to kick straight up to this right hand. So already I've got more weight in this right side. Now the reason that I've had a bigger distance now is that I can extend this arm away. So my left shoulder I'm trying to keep down, but this left hand has got very little weight in it. Come back down, go over to the opposite side. Instead of showing you with the IKEA step, I'll show you with an even bigger box for the opposite side. Now for most people the bigger box is going to be a little bit harder because the shoulder wants to go up even higher. So you can play around with different heights, making sure this shoulder doesn't raise and aiming for around 10-second holds. Now a P-bar can work very well when you're first learning because you can pull around on this a little bit more, especially if it's a heavier or fixed one. So I can control the balance much easier by pulling myself around a little bit with this left hand. But you could then still move that out of the way. Now I have shown in some of my previous videos the block walk-in drills, which has some of the same techniques as what we've used on these drills today. Now I recommend you have a play with these drills, especially if you're working towards the one arm. I would still be doing the piano, the normal one arm conditioning drills over these ones, but I would do these as an added extra or a bit of play. Now today's video is more for the intermediate to advanced. Next video will be more for the beginner to intermediate, or it will be one of my training vlogs. Let me know down in the comments if you have any requests for videos. Thumbs up and subscribe would be appreciated, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks guys.